This is a community notification regarding a sexually violent predator in the area. Please stay tuned for more information. Brighton Police Department registers, monitors, and tracks sex offenders in the city of Brighton. There are currently over 19,000 registered sex offenders in the state of Colorado, 134 in the city of Brighton. There are 203 offenders in Colorado who have been evaluated and classified as sexually violent predators, 2 of which live in Brighton. National sex offender legislation history includes the Jacob Witterling Act of 1994, Megan's Law of 1996, the Pam Lynchner Act of 1996, the Campus Sex Crimes Prevention Act of 2000, and the Adam Walsh Act of 2006. Colorado sex offender legislation determined that sexually violent predators, SVP, by definition pose a higher risk to the community at large, and therefore mandated that upon their release from the Department of Corrections, the community must be notified. Community notification in Colorado occurs in 2 ways: passive and ongoing, through the sex offender registration process, whereby citizens seek information about offenders from law enforcement via website or in person at headquarters. The second way is active, via community notifications for higher risk sex offenders determined by the court/parole board to be sexually violent predators, also known as SVPs. Please remember, sex offenders have the same need for housing and employment as other citizens. Any citizen who uses sex offender information to harass, threaten, or intimidate an offender will be subject to criminal prosecution. Sexually violent predators must register with Brighton Police Department Sex Offender Registration Unit every 3 months for the rest of their life. Offenders' residence must be verified every 3 months by the Brighton Police Department. This community notification is to make you aware of Marshall Todd Jensen, residing at 17180 East 136th Avenue, Lot F10, Brighton, Colorado, zip code 80601. He was born 8/18/1959. He is a white male, 5'11", weighs 160 pounds, has brown hair and hazel eyes. His history of charges include sexual assault over victim's will attempted and sexual assault on a child, position of trust. He registered with the Brighton Police Department on 5/20/2025. The offender was determined an SVP after meeting all 4 criteria. Criteria 1, age 18 or older on the date of the offense, or under 18 and tried as an adult. The offender was age 50 at the time of the offense. The offender met criteria number 2. The crimes must have been committed on or after July 1st, 1997, and convicted on or after July 1st, 1999. It was sexual assault over victim's will attempt. His conviction date was 6/24/2010, and sexual assault on a child, position of trust. His conviction date was 5/3/2002. The third criteria that the offender met was that the crime of conviction must be one or more of the following, including attempts, solicitations, and conspiracies: sexual assault, felony unlawful sexual contact, sexual assault on a child, sexual assault on a child/person in a position of trust. The crime was attempted sexual assault. The offender also meets criteria number 4, which is the relationship to the victim must have been either a stranger to the offender or a person with whom the offender established or promoted a relationship primarily for the purpose of sexual victimization. The victim was unknown to the offender. Marshall Todd Jensen was evaluated by the Denver Police Department with positive results, determining him to be a sexually violent predator. For more information, you may call the Brighton Police Department at 303-655-2300. or you can also reach our sex offender manager at 303-498-1243.